Hi, Dr. Conley. This is our Sprint 5 review and Sprint 6 planning. We are the Bitbangers and we're participating in the IEEE Region 5 competition. So just the same project overview, nothing's really changed. The first game field is pushing the red button, and then the second game field is overtaking and charging on the wireless charging pads, and then trying to be the last one standing.
Yeah, so for this sprint, this was really after winter break. We actually got stuff working, so we started coding the microcontroller, the EC32 microcontroller, and we started doing uh we got some the motors working, we got the wheels and stuff like that, but we found out that the stuff that we buy, for example, the DC motor was too it wouldn't be it didn't have enough power to control our robot, so we had to make some amendments to our list and we had to order some new parts. But yeah, for this sprint we actually got stuff to work, so this was more our one of the more successful sprints.
Yeah, like what Noor was saying, we bought some parts, we realized they were wrong, we learned a lot from that, and then we placed an order for new parts that hopefully will work, and they're going to be coming in sometime next week. And we've done like initial prototyping for our chassis design, and then also started building the game fields.
Okay, so individual tasks. So for me, my assigned task was getting the motors to work, and Uh, luckily I got it to work, but the thing was we found out that the motor speed was only 100 RPM, and that was just the motor speed. So the gears on the motor, that was 100 RPM, but the shaft itself was moving a lot slower than 100 RPM, right? So it would the thing is it would move the wheel like super slow, let alone holding the whole weight of the robot. So we had to just, not use the motor anymore because we'd be wasting our time to make it better. And we decided to get more powerful wheels, and we switched from the IR sensors to lidar sensors because they're easy to use. And we just found like libraries online for them, so we didn't have to write anything from scratch. And it's like these small lidar sensors that we're going to use, and we moved on to that. And also because our supercapacitors, they're so high in value that the rated voltage is only about 3.3 volts, and the power that we're going to be receiving from the charging coils it's going to be 5 volts, right? So we don't want to burn our supercapacitor. So we got these buck converters that would convert the high voltage to a lower voltage, so we can supply adequate voltage to the supercapacitor so we don't burn it. And those were my individual tasks. We can talk about his tasks.
So yeah, my tasks were trying to get the LiDAR sensors working. We had quite a bit of trouble on that, but we realized that the ESP32 only has a single UR what's it called? UR,
There's only one you already have.
yeah, only one UR on there. So we couldn't debug it while actually programming the LiDAR sensors as well, like getting the data and sending data to the LiDAR sensors. So we're working on a solution for that. And then after that, I researched helped get new parts, and then we compiled a new parts list to so that we can order them. And lastly, I worked on the Bluetooth kill switch.
And to kind of go over the task with other people, I know Rolando, he was really working on the debugger, trying to get that work because the ESP32 that we're using does not come with the built-in debugger. So I'm pretty sure he got it to work. There was some little fuse that we had to do. He figured it out, and now we're able to debug it, and that way we'll also be able to start using the lidar now. And he was also testing the charge and discharge time of the supercapacitor. Like he was simulating it. We didn't haven't actually tested the actual supercapacitors yet because we don't want to burn them, but he simulated it. And then Raquel, she's been working on the chassis design. She has her because we're trying to make everything modular because we're gonna end up removing the battery after the first round. So she's trying to make everything modular so we can just remove the first layer for the second round. Uh, and like instead of having to unscrew the batteries, unscrew parts, we'll just remove the layer and then that will disconnect the battery. So she's working on the chassis design. Rodrigo helped Velu do the kill switch for the Bluetooth. I'm pretty sure they got to the work. I mean, it was right now they're just sending like a signal to turn on an LED and stuff like that, but that'd be pretty easy to code up just to shut down everything. And he also been working on the chassis design, helping Raquel out with the chassis design. So that's an overview for their tasks.
Sweet. So this is our burn down chart. Nothing really to explain here. And so the next slide is what we plan on doing for the next sprint. So we're gonna finish building the game field, keep assembling and integrating parts, like the sensor. We can move the motor left and right because this is mechanism wheels. We haven't really dealt with that before, so a lot of learning to do and research. And then after that, we still need to keep working on the power supply parts. We're using buck down converters and we're also bought boost converters. So there's a lot of like math involved and other power issues that we need to look into. Anything to add, Noor?
I mean, the reason why we're using, first, we didn't expect it to be so complicated, but now since the supercapacitor only take 3.3, it can only provide 3.3 volts. And so the reason why we changed the motor was because it was a 3.3 volt motor, right? But it was so slow, so we have to use a 5 volt motor. So the charging coil being 5 volts, we have to find adequate charge to charge the supercapacitor, adequate voltage to charge the supercapacitor, so we don't burn it. So we'll use buck down for that. And then the other one will, once we get the charge in the supercapacitor, we'll increase the voltage to give it to the wheels. So first it was just, well, I'm glad we found out sooner than later that we'll have to do that. Because now we're prepared for it and we'll do the math. So that's the only thing to add on to that.
Okay, sweet. Next.
So yeah, so for the upcoming sprint, yeah, like Velu said, to add on to that, we're planning on finally making the game field and just pretty much trying to finish the first round. I think that's our main goal, is if we can finish the first round by the next week, really, then we'll be at a good spot to just figure out, because first round being the easier round, just going to the end, pushing the button and coming back. That's not the one we're too worried about. But if we can get that done, then we'll have something accomplished. So that will give us motivation to work on the second one. So that's more what we're kind of leaning towards, finishing the first round, and then we'll work on the. And it says over there we'll have to work on the field mapping, and like Velu was saying, because we're using mechanisms, you have to find a algorithm to, like, turn left and right, the eight degrees of rotation or whatever. So that's what our plan for the next sprint is.
Okay,
So, some side effects, some
sorry about
effects,
that.
animation effects from Velu.
Completely by accident. Okay. Anyways, so um this is our planning, what we plan on doing for the
Yes.
you got it.
Yeah, I'll do my task first.
Yeah.
So since I have the motor code and the lidar code, I'm planning on, once we get the code is gonna be the same. So once we get the new motors, I'll just integrate that with the new motors with that code, and I should get that working. Uh, the other one is, yeah, like I said, I really want to get the first round to be done and get it out of the way. So I think just writing code using the lidar sensor data from the lidar sensor, going pushing the button, coming back. I wanna kind of finish writing that, and then like Billy was saying that he's gonna work on the algorithm for the
The
mechanism wheels.
algorithm and
Yeah,
then
as well.
also building a game field with charging stations. We kind of have the game field set up, but we don't have the charging stations at the right spot. And then also we need to, like I was saying, with the buck down converters and the boost converters, we need to test that with the wireless chargers and then design a circuit that can safely charge the supercapacitors and safely discharge them. And yeah, that's about it for me. And then as you can see, the others, they've kind of planned out what they want to do as well. And yeah, anything else, Noor?
I think that's pretty much it for this sprint.
Yeah. All right. Well, so thank you, Dr. Conley, and we'll see you at class.